You know, I can't see them anymore, so I guess this is goodbye to those two. Welcome back to Asgard, and welcome back to episode 12 of our Divergence modded Minecraft Let's Play series. If you recall last episode, we just set up the pump for the farm over there, and also made this Rod of the Skies. Now I will say the pump hasn't ran a ton, or the farm hasn't ran a ton over there, because I've been over here and we don't have access to chunk loaders at the moment, which kind of, causes an issue. But what I did start doing is, if you recall, I said we were going to try to start getting into robotics and stuff. And since last episode, I have done an absolute ton of prep work, like a lot of mining and a lot of agricraft farming. If you recall, when we were talking about setting up the biodiesel setup, I was planning on using industrial hemp seeds for the plant oil, and then the sugarcane for the ethanol. However, I found that the hemp seeds don't grow very fast if you don't put them, with crop sticks and actually level them. And then if you do put them on crop sticks, they don't produce seeds; they just produce the hemp. So I messed with that for quite a while, but I came to the conclusion that really wasn't going to work for our setup. So what I've done is I've actually built out this and got us melons. Now this took a really long time because this pack unfortunately does not have clippers. So I had to get all these seeds manually, and normally I would just put one here and then a bunch of crop sticks and just let it breed. Well, weeds are very rampant in this pack, so I had to do it all like right in here. And I had moved our agricraft table over here, and just kept breeding and breeding and breeding while I was building this, and then on for quite a while. And then when I was prepping all the materials for this episode over there, I was breeding over there. So basically it took a really long time to get all this. But I did notice you can't seem to get 666 plants in this pack, because for a while I had it was like 6.5 or 6.3.5, I think, or something like that. And then anytime I'd raise the gain, it would lower the strength. So 6.62 was about the best I was able to get, because like I said, it just kept lowering the strength. But the strength really doesn't matter because we're not going to have any open crop sticks here to get weeds, so we shouldn't have an issue with weeds. And then I set this up. If you don't know, this is Agricraft's sprinkler system. And so what you do is you set up a wooden water tank here, which I didn't want to set it up above ground. It can actually collect rainwater, but you can just pump water into it. So I set up another pump right here with the redstone engines, and then it pumping directly into this water tank. Eventually I'm going to actually build this with metal so it looks like a little bit better for this room, because this room's going to be all big machinery, There's going to be another farm over here. I haven't started clearing out and setting that up, but that is actually going to be the sugarcane farm over there, but I'm probably going to do that with an automatic setup with like pistons and a block detector and all that. But for here, I've got this wooden water tank set up. So if you take a look here at Agricraft, you can make the wooden water tanks with just 7 wood planks. So now that we have that wood farm, this was not an issue to build out. The irrigation channels are just like this, and you get 6 of them. So that's what I have, built out here. Now this is this irrigation channel. You just take 4 of those, and it makes that. And basically, it lets you separate off or split off, And then the sprinklers are block of wood, iron, a bucket, and 2 iron bars. Not too crazy. So basically these keep the ground hydrated without water, And then they also, when they're down low enough, which these are, it has to be, I think, 5 blocks down vertically to irrigate it, and within 4 blocks to increase the growth rate. So now we've got 662 melons, and the sprinklers are making them grow a bit faster. So it's actually kind of nice. So like I said, this episode we're going to start getting into robotics. Robotics in general are a very big project because there's a lot that goes into it, and a lot of materials, a lot of power, and all that. And then also, since we're using melons, of course, to get melon seeds, we're going to have to take the melons and get them crafted into seeds. So I've been trying to figure out something to do with auto crafting. So I went ahead and got Pneumaticraft. I unlocked it. I haven't actually went over and picked it up because I'm not doing anything with it just yet. But we're going to get RF Tools Basic is my goal for this, which we're going to need 30 Advanced Tech and 15 Exceptional. I don't quite have those done. I've been our lasers have been pretty much working on everything for this episode. So I'm going to use the crafter from RF Tools, this one here. We just need a tier 1 is really all we're going to have to get. So it's just like that, and then this machine frame, which of course is locked right now. But basically that's going to use just a little bit of power, and it's just going to basically just constantly turn those melons into seeds for us. And then I'm going to set it up so it doesn't keep any, just melons on hand and everything. So let's get to setting up for robotics. This is going to be a fun little journey. There's a lot to it. The very first thing we're going to have to make, I've made these quartz chipsets, which are just nether quartz and redstone. And then I've made these wires here. I made a little bit extra of the red, however. But these are just iron, redstone, and then a red dye. And then for the green, it's a green dye. And then blue, it's a blue dye. See? They don't take a ton of power to make those. But let's see here. We're going to be making the quartz ore gates is what we're wanting. So we're going to go ahead and set that up so it starts running. It is going to take a little while to get that made. But yeah. So the next thing we're going to want to make is we're going to want to go ahead and make our 2 robots. Eventually I'm going to add some more to it. But for now, we're just going to make 2. And then once I get the materials and everything, we'll add more. So those are pretty easy, just like this. And that's going to get you your robots. Now, the robots, without any kind of programming or anything, they don't do anything. You can set them up and everything, and they're still not going to actually do anything. So to program them, eat some of my melons here. I had a bunch more melons, but I had I think at one point I had like 60 something of them just rot. And yeah, so this is what I've got left here. So like I said, these really don't do anything if you don't program them. So in order to program them, we're going to need to make both a programming table and an integration table. So we'll go ahead and get the stuff set up for those. Both of these are going to take 6 obsidian down the sides. Just like the assembly table, they're all Buildcraft tables and they're all really similar. So let's see. I know they both take diamond gears. I'm not going to look it up because I kind of know the recipe off the top of my head. I thought I did. Maybe not. I lied. Okay. Oh yeah, redstone chipsets, my bad. Not redstone. These redstone chipsets, of course, are just redstone in the assembly table. But that one with the emerald on top, that's going to get you the programming table. So it is a diamond gear, redstone chipset, and emerald for the programming table. And then the integration table is just gold instead of emerald up there. And I did manage to finally find, well, the way I got emeralds was at the village over there. There was a villager that traded me, it's like 2 diamonds for 16 bread. So that's how I ended up having to do it for this episode. So now these, you're going to set them up, the same way as the integration table. Actually, as the assembly table. We're going to set them up like this. This should work. Just around this chest here. Oh, we got our first quartz gate. And those quartz gates, I'll show you how those work here in just a little bit. Once we get ready to set them up and everything. I just wanted to go ahead and get them, prepping and everything. So the next thing we're going to need is a redstone board. So to set that up, you're just going to take paper and put it around a piece of redstone, and we're going to need 2 of these. One for each of our robots. So now that we got the redstone board, what we can do is we can set it into the programming table. And the first one, if you notice, there's all kinds of different programs in here. Carrier, tank, picker, butcher, farmer, miner, leaf cutter, pump, planter, lumberjack, harvester, shovel man, bomber, delivery, knight, stripes, and builder. And all these, they're pretty self-explanatory as far as what they do. The 2 that we're going to want is the picker, first off. And this probably isn't going to want to run because it's making this quartz gate. Tell you what. Oh, okay, there we go. Now see, these don't actually take a whole lot of energy. So now that we got the picker, the other one that we're going to want is the harvester. And I did test all this in a creative world, so because I wanted to make sure that the robots would work okay with crop sticks, which they do. So I made just a creative world, and I've kind of done some other testing in that world prior and everything, but I did test these out. So all you're going to need is the picker and the harvester to get this going. And then once you have those, you're going to go to the integration table and just put your robots in here, and then put your program here above it. And this one will be setting up the picker. I'm going to go ahead and shut that off for right now, so that this can finish up these, and then get that part done. By the way, if you notice, I did set up another HV capacitor. That's because once we get this system set up, these robots do require power, and by the way, you just do the same for the harvester. These robots do require power, and instead of like moving water wheels over there and getting like our initial power to get started with this system, like once we have the biodiesel and everything running, it's not going to be an issue. But for now, I wanted a portable power source, so when the time comes, we're just going to take that, move it over, and use that. So we'll let that continue making that now. So we got our harvester and our picker. That's the 2 robots that we're going to need to get this all set up. Now, the next thing we're going to want to make is, let me move this stuff over and just put that in there for right now. The next thing we're going to want to make is another machine related to the robots, and it's called the Zone Planner. And to make this, you're going to need 2 gold gears, diamond gear, redstone, 4 iron, and then an empty map, which of course is just paper around a compass. So let's go ahead and get this made. Oops. And there's our map. Diamond gear, gold gear, redstone, and iron. And that gets us the zone planner. And if you notice, this doesn't... Actually, I think this does require power. We'll check it in just a minute, I guess. I can't remember. I know when I did it in the creative world, I had it right next to a power source, so I didn't actually test it without the power. I don't recall if it needs it or not. But to actually use this, you're going to have to make a map. I am out of paper. Let's see. Where did I know I had sugar cane. At least I think I had a bunch of sugar cane. I'm pretty sure I did. But what did I do with it? I had yellow dye right here, and I had to go out earlier, and I went out and found a dandelion, and I had some there. Let's see. Do I really not have any? Do I have any paper? I just need 2 pieces of paper. Yeah, I have some paper. Okay. It always does this to me. Okay. Because I always use my scroll wheel to get stuff out of inventories, and when I do it in that, it removes everything. But to get this this map, you're just going to take dandelion with paper around it, and it's going to make you this map location. Let's see. Let's see here. I wonder if... Let me test something here. If we did this, and then I put that in there... Okay, yeah, it does require power. That's what I was thinking, but wasn't entirely sure. We'll just set this up right here for now. The way this zone planner works is, you know, you can right click to move around on the map here. The worst thing is I'm not entirely sure, because you can't look through the Y levels, and I'm not entirely sure where about our farm is. Let me see here. Tell you what we're going to do. Let's bring it over here, and because our farm is underground, so it kind of makes it a little bit difficult to plan out our zone. But we'll bring it over here and see exactly, you know, where about on the overworld map that the zone is that we're wanting to farm. Because basically the reason we're setting this up, now we only need one of these map locations to get this going, because you don't actually use it. You just kind of put it in there when you program your robots. I mean, technically you could just not put a map location in there and just let them at it, but they're going to kind of go wild when you do that, and it's not ideal. So it looks like we're about right in here as far as the centered area on this. So yeah, we'll just like do this area here. I wish there was a little bit more of a precise way to do this, but sadly there's not. Okay, so let's try to get back and sleep before I get a ton of monsters spawning. I've had that issue actually a lot here. That's why I'm wanting to get this stuff set up, and then we can get all our machines moved and get all this moved, and we can finish the Botania building and actually start focusing on getting things lit up and make this place a little bit more comfortable to live in and stuff. But okay, now that we've got that figured out, plug this thing back in, and like I said, don't forget you are going to use the right click to move it around and stuff. So that took me a little bit to get used to, actually. So what we were right in here. So I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm just going to... I hate when it does that. Let's see. We'll set it to add, and we'll just select like this area right in here, and we can just add on to it however, like that. I guess that's a good enough estimate right now. That's basically the area that I'm going to want these robots to be farming. So then we'll put this in here, and we'll give it a second. It's going to kind of process and record that on this map location. And if you want to, you can always, like if you hit here, you'll set it to remove. So then if you hold left click and, you know, say I want to cut off this chunk, I can, and then I can just put this back in here and let it reprocess. So you know, you can do that as well. So these aren't set in stone or nothing. So we got our map location set up. I think it's roughly correct. We'll see once we get it running and everything. And then the last thing we're really going to want to get made to at least start getting this set up is we're going to need some docking stations. Since we got 2 robots, I'm going to make 3 of them, because we're going to need the 2 for you know, the robots to dock at and get charged. Then we're also going to need 1 for the robot to recognize it to go drop off the items. So I'll explain that more once we get this, you know, get to setting this up. So what's it gotta be? Okay, yeah. But I forgot I'm making 3 of these. So let's grab a couple more of them. And there we go. We got our 3 docking stations, and our quartz ore gates are done as well. So, let's see here. We're actually going to need pipes. Do I have wooden kinesis pipes? Okay. I don't have any... I've got golden transport. Do I not have any golden kinesis made? No. So we'll just grab these. I'm going to want to eventually upgrade these, actually, because you'll notice that the wooden transport pipe isn't that great for actually charging these robots up. So I'm going to actually try, between this episode and next, to get a couple more emeralds, just make up some more bread or something, and get a couple more emeralds and make an emerald kinesis pipe. Because the emerald kinesis pipe, like the wooden one, can extract power, and then it also, if we pull it up here, I'll show you really quick. See, this emerald kinesis pipe is an input pipe, but it does you know, input 2,560 as opposed to the 320. So that's definitely something we're going to want to get. And then I wouldn't mind upgrading. Actually, the golden kinesis pipe's fine. Never mind. But yeah, we'll want to get the emerald one probably between this episode and next. I'll try to get that done. Of course, I doubt we're going to get our robots running and stuff this episode anyway, because in order to do that, I'll need to get the crafter and get that set up and everything to actually move the materials. And by the way, when I was digging out this room, I had, if you can tell in the ceiling, I had a ton of rock collapses. And a bunch of those look like they're about ready to collapse as well. So, but I did get a ton of coal out of this. I'm sure you can tell as I'm digging this away. So the way I'm going to have this set up, I think, is... Well, actually just set the robots up along here. Yeah, that's fine, because they'll still travel over there. They'll just hit this field up first. That's fine. I'm not too worried about that. As long as they're working, that's what matters. I'm actually going to go ahead and put the power input pipe here, because we'll probably run the power from over in that direction, I'm thinking. Because the way I've got this set up, by the way, is I'm going to have the plant oil, like the seed oil, over here. We're going to eventually set up 3 of these, because each one of these will power what's it called? The let me look. I'm forgetting everything. The diesel generator. One of these and one of these will power the diesel generator if they're, as long as they're getting enough seeds and sugarcane and stuff. And then you can have one of the biodiesel plants or whatever. What are they called? The refinery. And one of those for each set of these will power, will make enough biodiesel to power a generator. So eventually I'd like to set up, 3 of those, 3 of these, and then 3 of the refineries with 3 of the biodiesel plants. Because at that point, once we have that much power coming in, we really won't have to worry about power until, whenever we get to big reactors or something, we'll set that up. But these actually generate an insane amount of power. I think it's like 1,024 per tick. So it is kind of crazy power generation. So, but we'll set these up. And then the way you're going to set this up is you're going to put your docking station on top. And then we'll put our quartz ore gates on the front here, or either side really works. But then you're going to click these with an empty hand, and we're going to say, there's a bunch of different options in here if you notice, but we're going to say that if your redstone signal's off, which basically is going to be all the time, and then you can say gate side only or not. We're not going to worry about that for this because we're going to be using the docking station. We're going to say working area, and then we put our map location here. So basically it's saying that, as long as there's no redstone signal, which there's not, it's going to tell these robots here to work in the area that I told them to with the map location. And then we're going to do the same for this one with our map location. So both these robots now are programmed to work. I hope this is the right area. It could be off. We'll find out once it gets up and running. But yeah. So those robots are set. Oh, I forgot to bring over a pipe. But yeah, so they're going to be running now. Then what we'll want to do for our other docking station and quartz ore gate, we're going to actually need an item transport pipe and not a power one. So I'll run back over here. Those roadblocks definitely make it a lot easier. I need to get the rest of them set up and everything, but I've just been so busy over there and building and digging, a ton of digging, since the Tinker's Construct hammers are disabled in this pack. It definitely makes it take a bit longer. Let's see. I know I've got some. Yeah. We'll just grab a few of these for now. Sun's going down already. It seems like the sun is like always going down on us. Alright. Come on. Come on. Come on. Go. Go. Now you can actually cook, the biodiesel generator will actually take other sources of fuel, so you're not forced into, you know, doing this biodiesel method. Let's see here. You can actually do, like, I know Buildcraft oil, yeah, diesel, gasoline, but the those are both, you know, more powerful, but those are all expendable resources, whereas biodiesel, once we get this set up, I mean, it's pretty much just set it and forget it kind of thing. At worst case scenario, once we get our once we get everything set up, especially once we get 3 of them, we may have to add additional farms, but you know, once we reach that point, it's not going to be a big hassle to do that, because we'll already have the robotics set up, we'll already have power coming in, and everything. So the thing I like about the biodiesel is we're not going to have to constantly go out and find oil and all that mess. So, because that was a pain. I mean, it wouldn't be so bad if I had a portable tank, but that was a absolute pain when I was having to take like 16 buckets out at a time and do all that. Especially once we moved over here, because oil is not quite as abundant as it was over by the temple. So that's why I kind of moved off of that power source pretty quick. So, now that we've got that set, we're going to put our port, we'll just set it up right here. So basically this is going to be where the robots, once they've, actually, I don't know. We'll set it right here for now so I can show it to you. I might end up moving it once we get these set up. I might end up moving it and just kind of setting it up on top and having them, you know, dock into the top there and drop it off. But, yeah, so we'll put the docking station here and the quartz ore gate on there. And this one we're going to set up, once again, redstone signal off, but we're going to say accept items. So basically it's going to say that, you know, as long as there's no redstone, this is going to take items. So the robots, what they'll do is they'll come out here, the harvesters will come through and just break these melons when they're fully grown, and the pickers are going to go up and pick those up, and they can hold 4 at a time, like 4 items at a time, just individual, not stacks. But then once the pickers get the 4 items, then they'll bring it over and set on the docking station and, you know, drop off their melons or whatever, and then those will get pumped out. So, the next thing this is going to have to do is it's going to have to go into an auto crafter, which we'll probably set that up just right here. So it'll basically just pump the items directly into the auto crafter. And, you know what I didn't think of? Let me pick all that back up. Let's actually move that over here, because it would be a lot easier if I had the auto crafter on the same power source as the robots. So we'll set the, let's see, it's 1, 2. I could actually set up an additional robot right here. So we'd have the 6 of them here, and then the crafter, we'll say right here. Yeah. So I'll tell you what, we're gonna just set the kinesis pipe up right here, actually, or the item transport pipe, and set that there, and then the docking station on top, and then we'll set this back up for redstone signal off and accept items. Now, like I said, between this episode and next, I will get the crafter, and then we can actually get this going. Next episode, we'll probably be setting up the, I'll show you how the crafter works just briefly. That's a quick thing. And we'll be setting up our our thing to start actually making our ethanol, or our seed oil, I mean. And what I'm thinking is we'll probably actually set up like a tank. We'll do like a small tank right here, maybe. Or right back there, something. What I'm thinking is we'll set up those Railcraft multi-block tanks. I may just set up like a, I don't know, maybe like a 5 by 5. I don't know. I'll figure it out. But we're going to set up a tank here to hold seed oil, a tank over here to hold ethanol. Then those are going to pump into the refineries, and then the refineries are going to pump into just a massive, like 9 by 8 by 9 Railcraft tank to hold all the biodiesel that we're making. And then that'll get pumped out to our actual generators. So that's kind of the way I have this set up in my mind. So it's actually going to end up, once I dig this side out and build the sugarcane farm, and then once I dig that out, set up the refineries, and then dig all this out and set up the power generation, it's going to be a really big room with a lot going on, but it's going to be absolute just immense power, so especially for our stage in the game. So I do think I'm going to call the episode there, because we've kind of got our robotics system set up. Tell you what I could do is I'll tell you what, I'm going to wait to set the robots on there. Well, let's see. Let me see here. I'll tell you what we can do. Just so you guys can actually see them maybe run this episode. I think they'll run. They come pre-charged with 20% power. They might run with just that. We'll see. We'll set them over there, and we'll just put a chest onto that kinesis pipe. That item pipe, and we'll see if they'll run without actually plugging in the power. Because the main thing that the power is going to be for is actually charging them up. Let's see here. Let me get a... Do I have a chest made? Yeah. Okay. And we'll grab our robots. And... By the way, I saved a spare seed for our melons. And what else do I want to get while I'm over here? I could grab this just in case. Yeah, let's do that. It's fully charged, so we might as well. That's mainly why I had it plugged up there. Okay, we'll set this up really, really fast so you guys can at least see them work this episode. Because I feel bad if we got all that work done and you don't even get to see them, you know, run and stuff. I really like the little robots from Buildcraft, so. And I know eventually we'll get into... I'm going to keep, you know, once we get all set up and stuff, I'll probably keep the robot set up just because I kind of want to use variety and not just use the exact same thing for, you know, everything. Because, yeah, long term we could set up like a small auto farm or something with, you know, we could even do forestry, really, if we wanted to. Another forestry farm. But I like to just kind of have a little bit of variety as far as, you know, all this stuff, setting it up and stuff goes. So eventually we'll probably make some other stuff with like drones from Pneumaticraft. Those are actually really, really fun. I actually debated using those, going ahead and starting in Pneumaticraft and using drones as opposed to these Buildcraft bots. But I kind of want to use a little bit of variety here. So we'll do the harvester and then the picker. Oh yeah, these aren't happy. They're down to 19 charged right now. And we'll just set this up right there. So you can kind of, every once in a while you'll see them move around stuff, but I had that on my bar. And we'll set this to kind of provide them with some power. We'll let them get charged up and everything, and we'll see them run for just a second before we end the episode. So, alright. There he goes. See, the little harvester's off, and he's now breaking the melons. And this one should go here in just a second and start picking them up. Well, go do work. Working area, go. Okay, he's being difficult right now. Go do work. He's just like, no. Sometimes these are kind of a little bit of a pain. I will admit. And one thing you do have to watch out for, and one thing I need to watch out for, is these robots might try to like go above ground and start working out there and stuff. That's one of the worst things about these robots, is because you can't set a Y level, and due to that, you know, they're bound to just take off up there. Oh, it looks like he does hold stacks. I was wrong on that. He holds like so many. He doesn't hold like, I don't think, a full stack. But yeah, if you notice, he's picking up just an absolute ton of watermelons. So, but yeah, and they're just kind of rove around, and we'll watch them for just a second. This one should be getting pretty close to going and dropping off the items. And there they go. Okay. Why do they gotta do this? And it's nighttime. Great. Yeah, see, sometimes they'll bug out when you're nearby. Alright, I'm gonna relog real quick, and I'll be back. And that generally fixes it, but we'll see. Okay, I'm back. Yeah, I relogged, and my robots are still just flying up into the sky. So, I'll try to figure out why they're doing that, and yeah, and we'll be back. I'll let you know if I find out. I'll let you know down in the comments. If I find out something. Oh, there's got to be a way to fix that. There has to be. But yeah. So next episode we'll hopefully have working robots that don't do whatever those are doing, and yeah. So then we'll also get the crafter set up. We'll get some of this stuff built, and I'll probably set the sugarcane farm up off camera, because it's mainly going to be building. I'll show you how I did it, if you know, just in case you're not familiar with setting up just block up detectors. But yeah, so if you enjoyed this episode, please comment, like, subscribe, share. It's very, very much appreciated, and I just wanted you guys to know that I do appreciate all the support and everything. So I just want to say thanks. But until next episode, take care, and I will see you then. Bye-bye. I just wanted to bring you back real quick and show you. I ended up putting cobblestone here because the harvester wanted to go up and harvest. But what was actually causing the issue is they were colliding while they were both out there working. And that's what was causing them to kind of, you know, bug out and start just flying up into the sky. The way I ended up setting it up here was redstone signal off, and the picker will go and work in the area and use the map location. And then when he goes back to the station, it's going to emit a redstone signal. So if you notice, this redstone here is not lit up, but we'll give him just a second. He'll go into the station, and then that one will take off. And the way that's set up is when the redstone signal's on, he's set to work in the area. Whoops. And in this location. And when the redstone signal is off, it goes back to the station. So as soon as this one takes off to go pick up, this one immediately heads back to the station, which seems to avoid any collision issues with them. So, and then this is still set up the same way. Redstone signal off, it accepts items. And if you notice, they are actually getting quite a bit of watermelons here. So, of course, right now, we're not actually turning them into seeds just yet. But, yeah, here before too long, once we get that crafter and everything set up, they will be getting turned into, seeds. And then, so that's going to keep these full and everything. And see, that one got finished, so he just came on back. There's still a couple melons over here that he could go get, but he'll get them on his next round. So, but yeah, I just wanted to bring you back and show you that. Due to this, I probably won't set up any additional robots because we actually don't really need them for this farm setup. These two handle it just fine, and it does produce watermelons at a very quick rate. So we'll see in a couple, or probably next episode, we'll see if it's enough to keep this, at least one of these running constant. But hopefully it is, and I can always add on extra farms if we need to. But yeah, so I just wanted to bring you back and show you, so that way you kind of know how I ended up fixing it. So, but if you have any questions, just let me know, and until next episode, take care. I will see you then.